It's that time of life again. I was actually literally thinking that this morning when I was on my way out of the house. It's that time of the year again, basically. This is a very rare day that only happens once, maybe... I shouldn't say once. Maybe every 3-4 times a year we get to have a day like this. So, kind of got to enjoy it while you can, you know what I mean? Now, it's probably... Well, first of all, welcome. Second of all, it's probably worth noting that I may or may not do the 24-man tonight. And the reason why I say that is because the 24-man apparently has a glitch where if you wipe on it, which, again, since it's day one, there's a chance that the game does not properly register you as exiting combat. Now, it doesn't apparently happen every time. They're very vague when anything goes wrong in this game. They don't really give you a lot of information to, like, say, oh, well, it happens here in this phase, or this is the reason why. They don't really do that, so you kind of have to just go off their word. Let me boot up the game, by the way. I already changed it back to the old launcher. I am not a fan of the new launcher. It's nice, it looks cool, but I need dark mode. I'm sorry. I never understood having light mode. They have this very strong desire to have light mode be everything about this game right now. And I'm not sure if it's thematic because it's Shadowbringers, or if they just flat out, I don't know, they just feel like they've had dark mode for too long. Who even knows? Who even can really figure that one out? But yeah, they, there's a glitch with the 24-man. I'm gonna tell you, if I'm gonna spend 2 hours trying to figure out this bullshit, the last thing I want to do is to get to the end and then be stuck. And basically they admit the only way out of it is either to take the 30-minute penalty and leave, force quit the application and wait 10 minutes for your kick timer to automatically run out, or to, what was it, vote abandon? And that's, of course, you know, obviously there's other ways to get out of a raid or anything, but that's basically what they're saying to do if it happens. So that really is pretty much an instant turn off. I do not have any desire. Why is this not working? Okay, and there it goes. I made this pretty cool scene. I didn't make it for Final Fantasy yet, though, did I? Maybe I did. Okay, I totally didn't. Hang on, because I specifically said I was gonna make something like this, and well, guess what? I finally got around to making it. But it doesn't really work with Final Fantasy because there's a lot of shit to see on Final Fantasy. So I made this. I quite literally took a PNG of a television, and obviously I had to totally steal that and swipe that. So it looks pretty nice. I actually kind of like it. It gives the quaint at-home feeling, you know. It's like you're really watching this on your television in your living room. But I digress. Fuck that. I had to type that out to Mario. So, like the usual, I'm gonna do the story first. I kind of basically confirmed I won't do it today. Unless they hot fix it, but I don't foresee them fixing this without taking the servers down. I'm just going to be completely honest. So to do Shake and Resolve, it is Mordona, not the other place. Not anywhere on the first. I don't know why I logged out in Isleshire. It was kind of just a late night. I just kind of gave up. Welcome, Snowman King. Welcome, my friend. I have 3 trophies left until Platinum on Call of Duty World at War. I've beaten Veteran after 2 weeks. After 2 weeks! This man is a man of class and culture. I'll say that. Because I would have given up. Let me kill the noise, by the way. We don't need that anymore. And I always feel like the music is too low, but then I up it and I feel like it's too loud. So, I guess I won't figure that one out in time. Oh, what a fucking load of bullshit. Really now? I just started my stream, please. Tataru seems eager to make up for lost time. Well, yeah. So Miria, She's not on the stream. I don't know why I'm about to address her. It's not guaranteed. You know what? Fine. So I'll do it later. I don't know when Visual Deterrence is going to be on, so I couldn't even begin to tell you when and if we'll do it tonight. But I don't even want to risk it, because knowing my luck, it'll glitch out, and then that'll be a miserable day. But yeah, man, that's the achievement, right? In that one mission to basically do the mission perfectly. Yeah, I'm not a fan of World at War. I think I said that last time. I can't stand World at War. It makes me miserable. Gods, it's good to see you. I hope your being here means you've had your fill of rest. Not so much as 40 winks, truth be told. You're too selfless, that's your problem, but you'll be no good to anyone if you don't take a break every once in a while. Anyway, not much has happened since your last visit. I had planned for you to meet that helper I told you about, but he refuses to answer his link pearl. I do hope he's alright. We've been exchanging messages with the Eorzean Alliance throughout, though. They say the fighting has finally stopped at the Gimlet Dark and that the Empire has shown no sign of movement, which means that we might actually have a moment to ourselves for a change. Seeing as you're back, maybe you could tell me more about your time in the First? Great, no, if you don't mind, I'd like to ask Philamen to join us. She'll want to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best she hears it from you. We'll meet at the terrace at the House of Splendors. I think that's where the relic lady is. Which I actually finished 3 relics this past week, because all I did was do A9S, and A9S is pretty much incredibly easy at this point. You don't even die from scrapline as a non-tank. It's pretty fucking sweet. And I also was farming A10, which is why my new gear set looks like that, and I'm sticking with this. I still need to finish up 3 more relics. I need to finish the Black Mage relic and the Summoner Scholar relics. But once I do that, then I'm done with animal weapons forever. I have the materials needed, but yeah. It's been too long. Tataru did mention I would be joining you, did she not? Words cannot well express how I have longed to know much more of the First. This world Minfilia has sacrificed so much to save, but come, rest your feet. Tataru should be arriving shortly. Philamen was like a mother to her, I think. I can't remember. And so Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle, this girl who Thancred named Rin. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. I'd ask if a favor of you when you next return to the First, to tell Rin what I cannot. To tell her thank you. I love this face mask. I would offer thanks to you as well for staying with her to the end. I'm begging your pardon, but could I have a word? I have no clue who this is supposed to be. Riol, I hope you're here to tell me you've received word from our helper. I wish, man, I heard a peep out of him, and it's been a good long while now, too bloody long, on account of which I'm going to sneak over the border and see if I can't get a signal to him from closer up. What if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking my way through the Gimlet now the fighting's died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. It beats waiting around here twiddling me thumbs. Any road, I just thought to let you know now it best be... Alright. Crowls at the stones, and she wants a word. Something to do with the patient. She was getting ready to examine him again when I left. So after Eureka, she's finally back. It only took a whole expansion worth of story, because they wrote her out pretty much immediately. Shoot 45 Japanese zeros out of the sky. That took me 3 hours. Oh, you know what? As far as old CODs go, 3 hours is exactly a lot. So that's actually not terrible. Took you 3 hours, yeah, the sum of all zeros. I remember one of my friends did that, and he wanted me to do it because he wanted to basically me to torture myself, and I never did it. It's kind of weird how that works out, actually. I do appreciate you stopping by. I'm sure that in UK time, this must be miserable. What is it, 6 hours? 5 hours? I gotta fix where this... the chat is on my new TV setup. Because if you look, the TV setup, which I put so much work into, I have the chat in the wrong place. It's kind of not a great setup for anything, really. I could do it like that. That's about the best I could do. I need to put like a backdrop behind it, but I'm not. Obviously, I'm not gonna do that now. I don't know if ACT works. Oh, it's only 11 p.m. Oh, never mind. It's pretty sweet. So it seems she's still examining them. I do hope it's nothing bad. See, I was over here thinking it was like 2, because I play with somebody who's from Australia, and it's basically literally night for me and it's day for him. It's weird how that works.
You're here. Good.
I've turned off this. Turned that off ages ago.
So, how are they? Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health. For the present, at least. For the present? Oh no, there's something wrong with them. I'm afraid there may be. I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether, but subsequent examination suggested all 5 might be affected, and when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed. Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Yushtola and Urianger. The twins' ether meanwhile remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Yeah, in the order they left, I think.
Hold on. Isn't that the
Aha!
Indeed. Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time. Though I can but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul. By the gods! What happens if the link is broken? I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good. Mercifully, the instability is still only slight, and you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Yeah, they gotta come home. Leave it to me. Sounds good. I love this armor. This was totally worth it.
Thank you.
I never cleared it when it was new either.
But where's he even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct?
This was one hell of a report. Yes.
Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along. His plan might well have worked. I'm glad he never had the opportunity to see it through. Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the first and apprise him and the others of the situation. We meanwhile will do what we can from here, and, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
I'm gonna press X to doubt. All right. Well, I'm nice and cheesy. Here, I can return. Yeah, back to the ocular. It's close to midnight, and all the... I don't know what song that is. I'm gonna be a complete dinosaur. I don't recognize that song, which will make it even worse if I actually do know what song it is. I'm bad with music. All right. Oh my God, the frame rate drop. That is incredible. I need to get the hell out of Yulmore. This is literally the most packed it's been in a long time. Which is funny because I don't think there was a login queue. Oh my God, it's Thriller. You're right. As soon as I read Michael, I knew it was Thriller. That's the saddest part. I'm sorry. It's okay. In my defense, I wasn't around when that song was new. It's not as ingrained into me as it is my family. I wasn't around when it was an actual thing that people listened to. I'm gonna be this lazy. What is it, the Docile Gate? As if I've spent any amount of time in the Crystarium ever. Oh yeah, and I cleared Brute Justice Savage too. That's also a thing that happened. I actually cleared it 8 times. I think I still have the monk knuckles on my character. Do I? I don't fucking know, man. They're somewhere around here. I might have already put them in. Nope, here they are. The Might and the Might and Metal Knuckles are by far one of the coolest pieces of monk gear I think I've seen in this game. I originally wanted the Omega Knuckles, and I do still kind of want them, but when I saw those, I knew I had to get them. It was pretty much a done deal. It was well worth the farming. I'm never doing it again. I'm never doing it again. At all. I'll do it when 90 is the level, and we kill them even faster. The junction system, you can use spells to increase your stat. Yeah, there's no junctioning in this game, and I didn't like Final Fantasy VIII. I'm going to be honest. I hated Final Fantasy VIII. I was not a fan, which is ironic, because I play Gunbreaker as my main currently. Which, they do have that in this game's PvP, though. You returned. I hope your time in the source was suitably restful. But of course it wasn't. Go on. Corporeally, there shows signs of instability by the gods. The possibility never even occurred to me. If you have returned the hope that my research has yielded a solution, I fear you'll be sorely disappointed. 'Tis but a mercy we have the likes of Master Kryl and Master Matoya to keep our friends' bodies safe while we wrestle with the problem, but they cannot forestall the separation of body and soul indefinitely. Come, the others must be told. I'll probably never do a playthrough on Final Fantasy VIII. I did not like that game. Just like I didn't like Final Fantasy II or V, really. I already know that would be a miserable playthrough, so I won't even bother. Yeah, the other two are in the Eden thing, I think. Although they should show up for the main story. This game actually also has the Blood Sword. It's just glamour, though. It doesn't do anything. A lot of Final Fantasies have it.
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Will Thancred and Reed not be joining us?
Nay, lady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the entity to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed.
I forget he has red eyes. That is scary.
I think it best to begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
Thank you. I love your viewership, and I appreciate you dropping by the lonely, lowly streams I do. I will do more playthroughs soon. School has been getting the best of me, so that's kind of my lame excuse for why stuff I started in February is still not done.
To my eye, at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryle is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the
I'll actually elaborate more on that in a minute here.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration. Ere I begin,
Yeah. But through that, he could do me properly. So that kind of worked out.
I would not soon throw my life away, not after the lengths you and yours went to save it. And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home. But should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Yes. What?
What was that for?
A complete anime moment.
How can you even entertain such thoughts? You owe your life to the warrior of light, and you don't get to die unless he says so.
Your followers
I actually thought she was gonna smack him for a minute.
What did you just...
If the two of you are finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success. I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of his body and soul, but his personal effects besides. This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us his possessions, he could carry our souls back to the source where his body...
This is spooky.
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stay in our lives with. So much as a moment of doubt on his part, and we'd be left floating in the river.
I wouldn't do that to you.
The lady has the right to it. Requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask, even of our friend. Yet, were we to immure our souls within an object in his possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured. White orsite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of a Nasia, and should house one of ours with relative ease. We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
Soul preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us. On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the animals.
Oh, damn. Have I been here?
It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain new men chose to make their home there soon after.
No, probably not.
As a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Velbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Northland is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from you, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried, in vain, to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Scimitars. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars.
Nice. I'm guessing this is in the dungeon, isn't it?
By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you admittance. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to try.
This fucking mask, man. I love it. I actually really, I think Alexander is some of the best gear out of most of the tiers. What's the tank food? Skill speed, direct hit. Actually, how much is this? Oh, that's nothing. I'm done taking that. The food actually would probably be better. Direct hit determination is pretty much the closest I'm going to get. Because I don't need skill speed food. Skill speed is a very finicky thing. Too much and too little just kind of will be bad. The Grand Cosmos, that is the palace we seek, stands on the opposite shore of the source. Oh shit, that scared the shit out of me. I'll arrange for a boat to carry us there. As thou journey us thither, I think it best I devote mine energies to the creation of white orsite. By thy leave, of course, the process will require no small amount of time, and should the Pneumo consent to lend us our aid, we will have need of a suitable vessel ere long. I would ask for the rescue to meet me in Sullen, and do be prepared for a warm reception. That's somewhere, I guess. What's up, buddy? Turn my thoughts to the Orsite and apprise Thancred and Rin of our progress. I guess they're looking after the lady from E2. But yeah, I basically what I did is I wrote out a whole list of. Okay, first off, where is Sullen? I wrote out a whole list of games that I intend to play. So I've been kind of keeping up with that, at least. Where is the Grand Adventure, the Ocular? Oh, it's in Lakeland. Okay. I don't know. The last time I went around Lakeland was a few months ago when I was doing a hunt train. And yeah, I got the Zervin Bird. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I'm kind of knocking stuff off my hit list. So, like, I want to do... There's only 3 mounts that I'm missing that aren't Shadowbringer's Trials. I'm missing Sephiroth's Bird, Nidhogg's Bird, and one from Shinryu, so Shinryu's Wolf. Once I get those 3, I'll finish the set for each of those trials, or each of those expansions. And then I'm missing Innocence's Bird, but I did get 99 Immaculate Totems, so I don't need to ever do Innocence again. And I also got the Fey Totem, or the Fey Mount. Actually, it's right over here. The Fey Gwibber. So, and obviously I don't have the Hades one, because that just came out today. I'm not doing Hades until this weekend. And I kind of am spooked about this glitch that's apparently can happen. Okay, computer, please. Thank you. This is one of those things where you can't even see because there's so many people. As I told you before, I had scarcely set foot on the palace grounds when I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose we march through the main gate, weapons drawn. Sorry, but we are not here to petition for assistance. You can't honestly think barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. Actually, I believe the Exarch may have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations. Were I them, I should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As with any true seeker of knowledge, and there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us if we know nothing of their character, nor less why they chose to hide themselves from the world. But we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Yes. No! That's my thing. Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. It's like the good old days. I will not deny I enjoy the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing about inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits if you ask me. Not that I'm surprised, your moods invariably improve when Who's is around. What exactly are you implying? The averted calamity and the light which seemed destined to consume him has been extinguished. It's only natural we will be pleased to see him. We'll have plenty of time to celebrate his good health after we've finished here. Let's proceed to the palace. So he's probably the tank stand-in. Apparently he can be a half paladin. Yeah, so apparently you can trust this without actually having to have your trusts leveled up, because I've been completely slacking with this. Small talk. I can but imagine what manner of beasts keep guard here. No doubt they will afford a scant opportunity to explore the palace. A pity. I think we're done talking, don't you? We have a new mo to impress. Alright, thank you. How long has it been since we last went on such an expedition? I cannot be helped but reminded of the ruins of Scala. Yeah, where you offered my services for free. Good. That was a fun time. It is good to be here with you for a change. Whatever you have me do, you need but say the word. Alright. Yeah, okay, good. For scenario mode, you can do whatever you want. What class is he's an all-rounder?
Very well.
I don't know. They don't specifically say. I'll take him instead of Ishtola. I don't really like taking Ishtola. Oh. That's good, because I totally slacked on leveling up anything after a few months because I just got kind of bored with it. Doing Trust is pretty much the most boring thing imaginable. So I wasn't exactly super excited to do it. This music. Yeah, he's a black mage too. So you have two black mages. Alright, see ya. The Seeker of Solitude. How do you play fucking Dark Knight? I've had a long day. I can't remember. And I can't really be asked to even attempt to use any real brain power. I actually don't know how to play Dark Knight in a dungeon. I only know how to play it in raids, basically. Yeah, ACT doesn't work. It's whatever. I don't think I have anything else to really put in place of it, to be honest. So I was kind of hoping they'd have it patched quickly. But to be fair, I don't even raid until Friday, so I guess that's kind of a blessing, isn't it? Not that we're really scared of anything happening. They also changed the sound effect for stuff being ready. I always get cock-blocked on the last step of any move I do. The Presence Chamber. I see what the big pull is for this, too. What is every 60 seconds? This is what happens when I do nothing but play Gunbreaker unless I'm actually shitposting. To be fair, there isn't really much of an ad phase in almost anything at this point in this game. All the ads are solo target, so it doesn't really count, in my opinion. Yeah, you can actually hold it the whole time, which is pretty nice. Are the brooms gonna attack us? I remember when Matoya had an entire room full of brooms. See, I really like Final Fantasy 1. The problem with Final Fantasy 1 is it's a very long game to play. Like, it takes a long time to beat. I mean, obviously, you could speedrun it if you know what to do, but I don't know, like that. Every playthrough I've had of it has taken me a long time. I still like it, though. I think it's one of my favorite Final Fantasies. It's just a classic. But I don't own any good versions of it, so... But yeah, now you kind of see why I don't really like the trust system per se. Because it like, if these were humans, this would be very, very quick. But what I do like is you do get extra story. So it's cool to do it once, and obviously for the title, I'm just going to eventually waste enough time to do it. I mean, it's only just spending extra amount of time just doing stuff. I find that doing it as Red Mage or Summoner is pretty much the way to go, because the AI can accept reses mid-combat. Oh, we're on the other side of that gate. I guess this is the Marshal Court. What is it? Quietus at 2, but it's weird. I think you do solo target for 2 targets, but you would still do Quietus. If there were ad phases like 05, maybe this would be a bit different, but there are no ad phases like 05 in this tier. There haven't really been ad phases for the last couple of raid tiers. There hasn't really been a true ad phase in a raid since Sigma. I'm holding this. You insist on making a mess of my palace. You leave me no choice. That is a very weird opener. Just, okay, that's just raid wide. You son of a bitch. So are we supposed to not let the brooms touch anything? Oh.
If I must.
I love it. I love it so much. I absolutely love the Dark Knight. I enjoy myself playing it. It's like one of the few classes I actually feel I can double weave on, like, appropriately. Like, most classes I don't get that feeling sometimes. This is the Heavensward theme, too. Let's see if I can get him with that. Yes.
If I must.
I wonder why they didn't make him an avatar. It seemed like such a no-brainer. I guess they filled it up with 6, and I guess 6 is the maximum that they have right now. And they're okay with that. Because I did say you can't really use Lina or anyone else. Okay, I think that's probably the whole fight. I don't know if the fights seem to be getting easier for dungeons. It seems like there's a lot less mechanics in most dungeon fights in Shadowbringers. Except for maybe, like, Amarat. I could get the free charge, whatever. Really? The sweep gives you volume? Okay. Oh, please kill him. Thank you. This is giving me Mount Gulg flashbacks when you get to the top. I have to see what's in this. I don't even know if anything dropped from that. I'll be honest. My inventory stays full all the time. So I'm not exactly too eager to take a whole bunch of extra stuff I probably will never use ever. They also apparently changed, what was it? The way that the Gunbreaker stuff works. It shows how many cartridges can be used for anything. But I find that kind of weird because you can only use one cartridge on any given ability as Gunbreaker that eats a cart. I'm not summoning Living Shadow for this. That's an actual waste. Oh, there's two of them. They're actually small enough they can basically stand inside of each other. Oh shit, I fucking delirium. I keep thinking Blood Weapon is delirium for some reason. When they have no reason, I have no reason to think like that. Very nice. I should have maybe brought the Crystal Exarch as a healer. I wonder what kind of healer he is. He might be a white mage. So you got like one of every healer maybe. But then again, Y'shtola is a black mage and he's also a black mage. So you could really bring double black mage. But I like to bring Alice whenever I can. Because she can battle res. And that's the only thing that keeps me... Actually, I want to eat that. It's the only thing that keeps me sane sometimes. Did it break? No, of course not. It's not as easy to break in dungeons anymore. Like, you gotta, like, stand in AoEs. Kind of makes it counterproductive, because I could have just used something else in the time it took for me to waste that MP. Alright, whatever. The Warg Earring of Aiming. I hate that. I think the healing is a lot better for the AI. Or it might just be that my gear score is way higher. Because I feel like in the leveling dungeons, it's really a struggle sometimes for either of them to keep up. Oriandra does weird stuff that gets him killed, and Alphino just generally does not have the healing output needed. I'm gonna stand in this. It's still not enough. It's almost not enough. Oh boy. This is kind of like the other one. What's the one with the mud? St. Moxian's hard. This one arena. I'm guessing Storm of Color is the tank buster. It seems like a lot of fights tend to start off with the tank busters. I actually do like that. Ode to Love. Ode to Lost Love. How are you guys hurt? You piece of shit. I also forget, you don't have to hold a stack of plunge anymore. I know that would have made Hello World a lot more comfortable. Or not Hello World, I'm sorry, Kefka. I remember a lot of times having to sprint out of Kefka's, the double tank buster with the big circle. I remember a lot of times having to sprint because I would miscalculate how much beast gauge I would need for that. Oh, shit. What is it? Push it back one, I guess? Yeah, okay. That was a pretty bad Blackest Night. You really can't throw it out as often as you used to. I could have used it right there. It's really not something you can do. Also, Alice actually does like to use the LB quite a lot. Why are you like this? Okay. Is there a slight chance we could big pull this? Are there going to be like 10 monsters up here and I'm going to regret this? Where's Alpha now? I get very paranoid when my healer is not right behind me in this mode. I'm going to just take advantage of the idea. Oh no, you can't go. Oh no, here we go. You can. I'm just going to kind of pray that my gear score is high enough to let me get away with this. Wait, what is he doing? What are any of my teammates doing? What are they doing? Are they fucking serious? This is why I don't do this at all, ever. Oh yeah, and Reprisal is now AoE. That is a change I will never remember. I remember when it was a Dark Knight exclusive move. Now that's for OGs only. This is not gonna break. Nice. What does he have? Shades of the Past? The Chamber of Celestial Song. Out of the paintings? Oh, shit. It's like a Portrait of Ruin, which is a... I would say it's underrated, but that's like the Castlevania game on the DS that everybody knows about. So I guess it's not really overrated. Fuck me. Oh, actually that worked out. It's not freeze. It doesn't stop you from doing everything. So that's actually okay. I was trying to be very greedy. I think they're kinda... They're very reminiscent of the Ishgard Knights. The literal Heaven's Word. Okay, I want to get that. That's a tank buster on a normal ad. Oh, fuck this. You really don't expect this kind of stuff. They just generally don't do that. Yeah, okay. It's fine when I know it's coming. I think it was also a crit, too, because that's just, in general, my luck. Now that awareness doesn't exist anymore. I actually was in a lot of trouble a while ago when I was doing a trust because I was getting crit constantly. And I was just like, you know, this definitely wouldn't happen if awareness was still a thing, obviously. You really do feel it when it's gone. I'm holding this. Or at least I'll be one combo away from it. The next time you step on my toes, dear, will be the last. Oh no, the piano. I get to relive my childhood. You've sullied these halls long enough. Come, Lugus, our guests yet want for company. It was Dr. Lugai in Final Fantasy IV. I was going to say that's a Final Fantasy IV reference, but it isn't. I don't know what Lugus is supposed to be. The insatiable flame. There's been a very startling lack of Final Fantasy IV references in this game. The Grand Cosmos. Are we gonna have to, like, play the piano or some weird shit? Scorching Right. My living shadow routinely scares the shit out of me with that. Otherworldly heat. I have no clue how that worked. Yes. Mortal Flame. What do we do? We burn something else? Oh, okay. They burned the piano. I was actually hoping there would be like an active time maneuver. You gotta like play the piano or something. What, do we have to be far enough away? Oh, I see. There's gotta be a way to keep uptime on this, but at the risk of getting completely murdered, I'll just stand over here. Oh shit, that's one less thing that we can satellite. Okay. Culling blade. Oh, okay. He brings more stuff. Can he summon more curtains? Thank you.
If I must.
It really kind of spooks me sometimes, because Living Shadow will make movements that just seem like it's an actual player, and it's just really weird to watch it, like, stand and stuff and be fine. So I'm not a super huge fan of Living Shadow. You kind of need Sprint for this. That was also late. Oh yeah, Shadow Wall and all the other 30% last 15 seconds now. You can... that extra 5 seconds actually does exist. Like, mentally for me. At least his version of the directional cleaves isn't like Philia's, because Philia isn't exactly a full 50-50. I might be the only person to actually try to keep up time, at least. Thank you. They don't DPS and do mechanics. They only do one or the other. Oh, yeah, you. She was off exploring the castle and doing other stuff. The Warg Jacket of Fending. Is it dyeable? Where did it go? Inventory. Because everything I have is full. Of course not. And I'm not wearing that. I gotta get that PvE, or the PvP gear, though, so I guess I'm gonna be doing the roulette for that daily until I get all of it. At least the stuff I care about. Yeah, it was him.
Becklo, it's good to see you again after all these years. And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Say
This language.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence! It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all. I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion. But I'll know that Dim and Mo are a good and noble folk. It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you. And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen. After all, there's no harm in just... No, 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 I mustn't. Not again. That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Sorry if that was loud, by the way. Stream Deck likes to have varying levels of
Was my knowledge of
stupidity.
what?
I really hate that. It's never consistent. I mean, the magical plague of Verbert. This face mask, man.
You know of the plague? Then you know how dangerous soulcraft can be. Instead of saving your friends, you risk damning them. Are you sure you're willing to take that chance?
Yes.
No. No. Very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
It's not like I'm getting paid.
No more, no less, and so on. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
Well, that worked out. I like Numo. They're not in a lot of Final Fantasy games. It's truly a tragedy. Alright, well that's it. One of my friends is in here somewhere, but given how many people are in this massive mess of bodies, I couldn't even begin to tell you who it is, so I'm not even going to bother. There you are. The others have gone ahead to the Crystal Tower, Beg Lug. For the record, I truly should end resort to using such words when treating with them. How I have ever sought to convince, not compel you. I cannot deny that part of me is glad Orion just shared his knowledge of the Numo with us. Had he not, Beg Lug wouldn't be here. Okay. I mean, on to the Grand Cosmos of a party of NPC avatars. To make use of this feature, open the trail. Okay, yeah. So you have to beat it first once. They give it to you for free in scenario mode. You have to unlock scenario mode? Because it said there was a slider before on some of the other stuff. But yeah, I'm only up to Don Meg with my group of 6, which is unfortunate. I guess you have to unlock it somewhere, and I don't know where to get it from. So it's unfortunate, but not really much I can do. So I'm running 2 sets of 3, and one of them I'm tanking, and this one specifically, and then the other one I'm running Red Mage, so somebody has res. Mustn't dally here any longer. If Big Lucas hear the truth of our travails on the first, you of all people should be present. It's kind of pointless to have to DPS with Alisei, because if you're gonna DPS with Alisei, what the hell is this? Okay, I can deal with that later. It's kind of pointless to do any of that because Alisei, if you die, nobody reses you. It's just considered a group wipe instantly, the literal second you die. So I think it kind of worked out that I didn't fit her in with anything else. The Docile Gate. It's quite a story to even begin to catch up with. I legit thought I'd never use this armor.
Right, sorry. You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing,
Yes.
you hail from another world as well?
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting my testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their swords.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But upon closer inspection, 'tis plain their souls are far denser than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies. Save you. Your body is your own, and your soul is the densest of them all.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Northern would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of wrathful senators. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own seems the very least we can do.
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself. As for your friends, I can but affirm their valorous deeds on behalf of Norrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
You will help us then?
I will. I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change. I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Rumo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be labouring for our own benefit after all.
I'm actually just glad we didn't have to jump through a million hoops for once. I like how he looks at me. Yes, I work for free. I understand that. This dude offers up my services for free on the regular. Honestly, having trust in some older dungeons would be pretty cool. as opposed to them crashing in at the last minute, doing weird, different stuff. You've spun quite a tale, but tell me, have you given any thought as to how you might return to your world? White Orosite, you say? Intriguing proposition, but one which fails to account for the present state of your souls. They have become highly charged, as I'm toggling that off, it's too fast. They become highly charged, likely as a consequence of having maintained tangible forms for so long. In such an energetic, unstable state, there's no telling what may happen to their souls within the Orosite. They could very well become immutable to transference, never to be restored to their bodies. Then would it be possible to force our souls into a state of dormancy prior to transference? In theory, yes, but the soul is not a candle to be snuffed out and relit on a whim. It sounds ominous. What exactly would rendering our souls dormant entail? In order to maintain a corporeal form, your souls constantly draw aether from your surroundings. This process must be halted and the resulting surfeit of aether removed. Your minds would ultimately be separated from these faux bodies of yours, rendering you incapable of interacting with the world around you. A cruel fate under normal circumstances, but one which will be rectified upon your return home. Leaving lifeless husks like those poor souls at the inn at Journey's Head, corrupted by the sin eaters, their aether made stagnant by the light. Corrupted? Stagnant? Might I see these unfortunate individuals? Why, do you think you might be able to help them? I might, or I might not, but I shan't know for sure until I've seen their condition firsthand. I'll be glad to take you to them on the understanding that you won't do anything which might increase their suffering. It was my faith in man I lost, not my compassion. I see no need for all of us to accompany you. While you escort our guests to the inn, I will assist Oriandra in creating the requisite Orosite. I believe my talents will be better applied to that endeavor as well. Might I leave the three of you to assist Beg Lug as necessary? I'm wrong. I forgot what alternate Thanalon was called. I cannot tell you how hype the nostalgia factor is for me, in the sense that I really loved Final Fantasy III, and I like seeing the Crystal Tower actually be used in the story more than just as a thing you eventually get to and then climb. Pains that those who yet suffer despite our victory over the light, we must hope a way can be found to help both them and our friends. Oriandra is more incapable of creating Orosite on his own, but if aught should go awry, I would be on hand to assist him. Okay, well, Journey's Head. I have not been back to Amarong almost at all, other than to unlock Savage. And I think I did a few hunts here. That's about it. Oh, you could feel the frame rate hit. I even have to turn around to find it. This is Halric, is it? Yes, this etheric balance leans perilously toward the light. Towards stasis. What do you suppose will happen to him? Not too bright, are you, boy? The same as all poor souls corrupted by the light. He will become a sin eater. You don't know that we defeated the wardens and banished the light from the night sky. Halric was completely unresponsive before, but now... Mumble. Perhaps there is yet hope. If I may, there is a treatment I wish to administer to the patients. What sort of treatment? In the course of my studies of the soul, I once created a tonic which could temporarily stimulate the aether in one's body. After some refinement, it came to be used by the Knights of Verber. Then, for far darker purposes, lest it fall into the wrong hands, I swore never again to make it, but for their sakes I will break that oath. It's not likely to reverse the stagnation, mind you, but it should offer some measure of relief. Oh, Jesus. Almost can't even see the people. Soul tonic. Nothing. Stares blankly. It would seem the tonic has had no effect. What is this warmth I feel in my chest? I feel warm in my legs. They don't feel as heavy. Yeah, some people got it worse than others. Is there an automatic crowd noise effect that happens when so many people are in an area? Because it only kicked up when I came over here. I'm starting to think that's a thing, because that happens in Limsa, but I don't think it should be happening out here. Just in general. Now then, have you noted any change in the patients? A notable rise in body temperature and increased motor function in most of the patients, at least. The most severely afflicted show no response. As I feared then. 'Tis true that with the restoration of night, the corrupting influence of light will no longer grow, and yes, their bodies will naturally return to equilibrium given time, but this holds true only for their corporeal aether. Their incorporeal aether, that of the soul, is not so easily mended, which is why those in the later stages, like Halric, appear unaffected. Precisely. Boy's soul is too far gone, his mind held together by the finest of threads. There's a chance that he may one day recover, of course, but it could take years, decades even. My gods, if he could wake to find himself an old man. Find rewards for his persistence, the opportunity to mourn the life he never had a chance to live. There must be something we can do. I realize this is not why we petition our aid, but do you think it is possible we can find a way to hasten their recovery? Maybe. Or I think it impossible that in treating them we might learn something of relevance to your own predicament. Oh, what is this? This is supposed to be decent. I'll take the rare roast beef. I don't really care. I get all my food anyway from nice people who I ought to pay for their services. What? Oh, okay. Big Luke is ready to speak of the men. That actually took up space in my inventory. As you see, I'm running a very fine line here of too much and full. I suspect the Crystal Exarch has told you of my past. I was once a mage in the royal court of Verbert. That soulcraft was my field of study. The tie I could administer to the patients here is one of the fruits of my labors. I'd hoped to do great things for the kingdom, but in the end my knowledge brought only suffering, a plague the likes of which none had ever seen. In the hands of unscrupulous men, what should have been my greatest triumph instead became my greatest shame. I didn't finish this plot line, which is hilarious. Sure, we'll say that. That they did, I sure to think what might have happened had they not. Let's return to the task at hand, finding a means by which we may revitalize these peoples in corporeal ether. Do you think it can be done? Were the sky still ablaze with primordial light, I would call it an exercise in futility, but now we may have a chance. The method I have in mind will entail the conjuring of a familiar. They are able to amplify the energies poured into them, making them the perfect conduit for aether revitalizing magics that we will ultimately employ. You're about to launch into a lengthy explanation of the metaphysics of your plan. Don't bother. I'd rather get on with doing whatever it is that needs to be done if it's all the same to you. Yeah. Lore and exposition. I admire your spirit. Your first task will be to gather the necessary materials. The purest of waters and the finest of clays, as well as a fey lantern brimming with pixie magic. If you're convinced that the resulting familiar could help the patients, fine. The water and clay will be simple enough, but I think you know what we'll have to do to get the lantern. Oh, yes. The pixies. Pay a visit to El Mag, though I never thought you would be the one to suggest going back there. I'm impressed you've been there at all, let alone befriended the Fey folk. While you're about it, seek out the Numoa Plaeni. They should be able to supply you with the water suitable for our needs. Not sure if Plaeni is a reference to anything. Yeah, the clay. Clay from Amarong would like to be best. I do not know of anyone. Aren't these the same people? No, they're not. Twine is the miners. I don't know. It's whatever. Mordsuk. They say they're more interested in the trinkets. Yeah. Oh, well, it was the miners. I was wrong. You know, the miners are Twine perfect. Speak with them and you should have no trouble procuring what we need. Twine? Where's... Okay, that's the teleport. Where is Mordsuk? Isn't that the big city? Or the only city, I guess, in Amarong at all? Well, what a coincidence. Coming at a good time. We just this moment finished repairing the talus and trolley you lot took to Nabathareng. The trolley was no Is that a trouble with the trolley? Did they make that reference? I can't remember. The house would have been another matter had we not a visit from Master Chai. He offered us a share of the leftover building materials from the Daedalus Stoneworks, as well as a few trade secrets to help us along. Clever man that Chai knows. He seems pretty keen on the ideas I had for putting the giant talus to work, like a giant trolley, but Magnus still refuses to see all the good we could do with it. You're entitled to your dreams, Jarek, but that doesn't mean you can go harassing our guests with them. Master Chai was just being polite. Something tells me who's here didn't come all this way to talk about trolleys. What is it you need, friend? Clay. Light clay. The finest of clay. Yeah. Kamayan nowadays, but there must be some lurking somewhere or other. There was a time they used to take clay from Mount Buren Mountains, or Mount Buren Mines, to make adobe bricks. Place is swarming with coyote. Oh, who cares about that? That's nothing. Where the hell is that? So what are the mines to the south? Nuvaya's leaving. Okay. Well, that would make a lot more sense. That's not what I wanted. That's also not what I wanted. This I'm actually glad I got, because I fucking hate Titania Extreme. I cannot stand wiping the Titania Extreme over and over and over again. I wonder how you get the winged lion thing. Wiping the Titania EX was pretty much some of the most depressing gameplay I think I've done in a while. It's always the same part of the fight, too. One of the two same parts of the fight. It's very fun, let me tell you. I'm guessing I'm going to get jumped in a second here. Is this guy, like, under-leveled or something? That was spooky. He could have died there. Alright, which one's mine? I don't plan on fixing every problem in the world. Which is specifically why I'm not doing anything like summoning my living shadow. Okay, I'm getting out of here. This kind of looks yellow in this area. It looks like the Sophia mount a bit. Oh, okay. It's actually kind of funny, because I feel like Zervin Extreme is in the same boat as Seiryu EX, and that they're both pretty easy. I mean, granted, I did it unsynced, but I don't really feel like there's many lethal mechanics in it. Again, maybe the changes to the battle system that they made between Heavensward and Stormblood makes a lot of it, you know, much easier. But I kind of feel like Seiryu didn't really have much going for it in terms of difficulty because of just the fact that the gear limit had been already reached at that point. So a lot of times it just feels weird, you know. I should summon my my living shadow and talk to him. I should do that. Living shadow is literally the coolest thing ever. It's the coolest thing, but I hate it and love it at the same time. It's an awful relationship. Alright, here you go, buddy. Yes, here's the clay. Esteem. You need but combine the clay and the water and then heat the mixture with the Fey Lantern. In the event that we have needed the spell and you weren't around, would it be possible for another to perform the incantation? Assuming they possess the requisite skill. Oh, there he goes. Aldrich and the others have suffered so much. I swear I would do everything in my power to save them. If there's a chance the spell could do that, I would be the one to invoke it. Mayhap you should be the one to do so. A deep understanding of the subject's physical state combined with a strong desire to help them can drastically increase the magic's effect. And you are plainly more familiar with these people than I. I dare say there are few in all of Novaron who more dedicated to finding a cure. Is that not so? I'll put her up. We are all of a mind on the matter. I'll say she'll be the one to conjure the familiar. I expected a cutscene. I was kind of hoping it would be cool if, like, the living shadow was in the cutscene.
Let us begin. I trust you've prepared the clay.
Nice.
Very good. Now, I would have you sculpt for me a pork clumped with floppy ears and a short curly tail.
A porksy. I think I know what you mean. There we are. How's that?
What? What is that? No, that's pork.
It is 7:50.
You dick.
There's no denying that.
This fucking asshole.
Yes, I know artist. Very funny.
Pay him no mind, child. Though it may look like a grotesque parody of reality, it is what the invoker believes that matters.
You're not helping.
But I speak the truth. If successful, this incantation will turn imagination into reality. Which is why the only thing of import is what you believe this figure embodies. You must focus. Hold the Porksy's image steady in your mind's eye. Now, as I taught you, relax and allow your energy to flow.
She made a literal pork.
With flesh of clay unbidden eyes, on wings of dreams to touch the skies. What once was idle fantasy, I call forth to reality.
This thing had better be a minion.
Not bad for a first attempt. Now, let us see what can be done for young Havoc.
she gonna give it the name Tesleen?
All right, I've decided. Now. Go, Angela!
Oh, okay. I don't know if there's any significance in the name Angelo for her. It worked for a brief second. This poor kid. Oh no. Mother Owl. How is he, Big Luke? Did it work? I believe it did. You and your fledgling familiar have done well. My eyes do not deceive. A hint of color has returned to his soul. I would jump for joy if I weren't so exhausted. You're so close now, Halric. As you are even now in the process of discovering, this magic asks much of the invoker, which you may not realize is the same is true of the subject. As such, you must proceed with caution. However, with further treatment of the utmost confidence, the boy will make a full recovery. Observing the reanimation of his stagnant soul has been most enlightening. I'll need time to put my theories to the proof, but I believe I can fashion a spell to produce the opposite effect, that is, to induce stagnation, thus enabling our safe transport back to the source via Auracite. Thought occurred to me about this treatment. Big Luke said when the soul is rendered dormant, the mind is separated from the body, that a person becomes incapable of interacting with the world around them. Does it not sound a lot like some of the tempered back in the source? Not really. It is the fate of most tempered to become slave to primals, save in a handful of cases, or am I missing something? Back in Master Technique, the art of revitalizing the soul, I know of at least one in the source who could desperately use such treatment. Yeah, the kobold. Yeah, Gabu. I was actually wondering if they were ever going to touch on that plotline in the near future. His condition is uncannily similar to Halric's, is it not? The only difference is that his soul is suffused with earth-aspected ether instead of light. Follows that if his soul is subjected to a similar kind of stagnation, there may be a chance we can save him, right? Who's this Gabu fellow of which you speak? His condition doesn't sound similar, yet there is much and more about the soul that remains unknown even to me. I say this not to discourage you, you understand, but to remind you this is delicate work we do here, work requiring patience. As long as there is hope for the patients here, I will devote whatever time is needed to see this through, but I refuse to spend that time in idleness. If it's all the same to you, I'd like to stay here with Angela and continue their treatment. The two of you should return to the Crystarium with Beg Lug and see if you can't make some headway with their newly posited theories. I'll tell you to rest first, but you see you're not to be convinced. Ah, the fire of youth. Let us return to the Crystarium. Finally, I found you. Oh, it's this dude. What are you doing all the way out here? Trouble back in Yulmore, Lady Chai's beside herself, sighing and pacing the whole lot. Near enough begged me to go and find you. Sighing and pacing it. It must be urgent. I take it I will be returning to the Crystarium alone. Go then, it's not as if I have anything for you to do. Thank you, Beg Luke. Sorry for bothering you and all, but she says the future of Yulmore is at stake. Excellent. This guy is also the custom delivery man. So that's my new weekly thing to do. Lady Chai's up in the parlor, best not keep her waiting. Oh boy. Actually, I can return. See, I'm big brain with this. I use this to fast travel for free between the source and the first. It's actually very helpful. And then I have a bunch of tickets I can use to go back to the source. That seems to be out of the ordinary, though I do not see Lady Chai anywhere. Probably pacing around outside again, staring off into the distance and all that sighing. Let's see if we can find her and discover the source of her distress. For what it's worth, before she would sit here and say she would prepare like a feast or something for you and Alphino. So now she's just doing other weird stuff. I really need to get the trusted friend thing. That's not where the crowd went.
Oh, thank heavens you're here.
Lady Chai, whatever is the matter?
I knew not where else to turn. Oh, this is all too much for my poor heart to bear alone.
Alone? What of Master Chai?
That is the very reason I summoned you. He's gone.
What? What happened?
It all began after the events at Mount Gold. With Lord Vorthree out of the way, we all agreed that a new leader must be chosen.
And so you held an election?
Yes, well, sort of. Not a single person volunteered to stand, you see.
After a lifetime of leisure, we free citizens have grown somewhat indolent. Readapting to the harsh realities of life is fine enough, but to take charge of a broken city as well.
No one wanted such responsibility.
Nevertheless, Yulmore could not well do without a leader, and so we decided that anyone and everyone should be considered a candidate.
And after we cast our ballots and tallied the votes, the mayorship fell upon my dear.
Oh, of course.
Well, given the manner in which he orchestrated the construction of the giant towers, none could deny his leadership qualities.
But even before then, he had proven himself at Daedalus Stoneworks, don't forget. He's more than qualified for the role.
The perfect choice.
Indeed. I told him as much when his victory was first announced.
But perhaps I was too forceful in my attempt to encourage him. For shortly after that, he vanished without a word.
I don't think he likes praise too much, right? Wasn't that the thing where we had to, like, convince him to do the Talos thing in the first place?
You believe he was so daunted by the burden of leadership that he felt compelled to flee? Please, Lady Chai, dry your eyes. Your husband does not strike me as the sort of man who would abandon his duty, much less his beloved wife. There has to be some other reason for his absence.
You truly think so? What about you? What do you think has become of my husband?
Why are you asking me? I think he's fled. Oh no, I won't say that. You can be a real asshole in some of these choices. we gonna find out that he really did just flee?
Rest assured we will find him.
Get a ridiculous plot twist.
Thank you, my dear boy. You have set my mind at ease. I will trust in my husband and await his return.
Oh no, what the hell is this? Is this normal quality? You know what? Fuck it, I'll take... Actually, oh, kill me. I think this is actually for... This is warrior food. I don't have any of this. I really don't want to... I mean, I'm going to take up an extra inventory slot anyway. I'm so screwed. I'm trying to put... I like how all of them loaded in at once. I'm trying to put all my stuff into my my Chocobo saddlebag, so every time I get a new weapon I can re-glamour it. So like the Sasuke's blade, really I need the Lilith rod in there. But I'm gonna put them both in there for now, because I can't put every single weapon onto my glamour plates, because I have like 8 glamour plates for tanks, because that's just how I'm just weird like that. For all his comforting words, Alpha knows plainly troubled by Master Chai's sudden disappearance. It's no sense for Master Chai to have left without a word, but even if he had, he would not have done so unobserved. Someone here will have seen something, I am sure of it. We should split up and inquire as to whether anyone saw him leave, or failing that, if they have any ideas where he might have gone. I will meet you at the Glory Gate to compare notes later on. That is pretty fucking ridiculous, though. What can I say? I like my glamour, alright? I put in effort. I don't think anyone can deny I put in effort. The only other thing I would have done is clear Uwu to get the Dark Knight weapon. That would have been pretty nice. Yes, I spoke with him recently. Well, I recall he was in a rather dour mood, concerned about Yulmore's neglect of industry. Lord Valthyri's apparently inexhaustible stores of meal, no great need for money. It's little wonder our businesses were all but forgotten under his rule. I assured Master Chai that the Boutique of Splendors will do all it can. This is supposed to be alternate Rowena. I'm like 80% certain. The stagnant state of business in Yulmore. This is the derelicts? What's the buttress? Oh, is that the bottom floor? Yeah, it is. Okay. So I kind of ran down this for no reason. Damn, this is a lot of stairs. Looking for Master Chai. Something I missed when last I saw him. He seemed ready to collapse from exhaustion. I insisted that he and the rest catch his breath, and we talked for a while about his concerns over the city's defenses. He made more than a few valid points. Many of our men are still recovering after your confrontation with Lord Valthyri, and finding General Rajit in a heap in the middle of the plaza shook us all to the core. The man commanded no small amount of loyalty, and some of our longest-serving soldiers seemed lost without him. Indeed, a number of them left. Not that we blame you, of course, though you and yours would still be blind to the error of our ways. Anyway, funding permitting, I propose replenishing our ranks with volunteers from the derelicts in Gate Town. We have a duty to protect not only Yulmore, you see, but the surrounding regions of Kalusia as well. I, for one, would welcome any man or woman willing to take up arms for that cause. Indeed, I told him as much. He seemed relieved to hear it. It was on that note we parted ways. And he headed outside. I really hate running around this place. You also can't use mounts in here, even outside. It's actually, I think, the first main in-game area to not let you use mounts in it. Because you could use mounts in Railgers and all the other places. I recall a man fit in that description. Asked to speak with poor buggers lately come from right. So he wanted to know the state of things down the derelicts, and you can be sure we gave him an earful. Lack of food, medicine, clothing, there was plenty to tell. We hunt high and low for whatever we can scavenge, and it's barely enough to fill our bellies, but folk here don't just want to survive, they want to thrive. When he heard that, he started mumbling to himself. Something about finding us work, I think. Fair play to him, though. Not content with having his ear chewed off about the derelicts, he asked about the other settlements and all. After that, I can't say. Really looks like he was headed for Gate Town. Yeah, okay. Gate Town is right outside in Kalusia. I do think I'm going to wait for them to patch this. The other 24-man, I guarantee you it'll be done overnight. It'll be emergency maintenance. They'll probably announce it in like an hour or two. How did you fare? Have you learned anything which might offer a clue as to his whereabouts? Here you go. Tons of stuff. Apparently paid a visit to the Queen Bee as well. They discussed the possibility of granting admission to customers from outside Yulmore, an idea to which the proprietor was surprisingly receptive. Sounds like he got big plans for the place. Yulmore, I mean, not the Bee. Perhaps the question remains, where did he go after leaving the city? You know, for certain, Master Chai is showing great concern not only for Yulmore, but its surrounding settlements. Seems logical that having consulted with those within the city walls, he wished to do the same to those without. I go for right, still tied, and... okay. So it's actually not that he abandoned the place. He's actually beginning to make massive strides. And doing a whole bunch of other stuff. Right, I think he said. I think I did the quest in Tamra that leads to the 24-man. Because I'm pretty sure I was very thorough about doing almost every side quest. The name doesn't ring any bells, but there was a rather dapper-looking Mistal gentleman here not long ago. He wanted to talk about relations between Wright and Yulmore, or rather the lack of them. He lost a great many people to their promises of meal and a chance of a lavish life among the free. Valther thought to take even more from us, conscripting the few able-bodied men we had left to guard his paradise. So I needn't tell you what happened when the Sin Eaters came. Such things are hard to forgive. But Valther's gone now, and we're curious to see what will become of Yulmore in his absence. That's why I told your friend Chai Nuz, was it? I'm sure that the others said the same. Not what he wanted to hear, I suppose, because he left soon after, and then that was that. Top rung? Oh, boy. I like the Demonic Lantern. What's the other one called? The Sophic Lantern. Okay. I like this one. I like the color on it, too. I'm not a fan of the Nidhogg bird. I'm sure it plays Nidhogg's final phase. Which I actually kind of like the second phase a bit more. And we already know what the Sephiroth one plays. I think that the Shinryu one might be good for the music. Yeah, land and then do a U-turn. Paid a visit to both Wright and Gate Town as well, did he? See, Kai Shir and I gleaned much the same. He seems determined to salvage what goodwill might yet remain among the summits of Kalusia. The only likely place he has left to go being Amity. If we are quick, we may yet catch up with him. Where do you get that thing? That's got to be something special you have to do to get that big fucking lion. Has to be. I think Zervin's theme, and here he is. I think Zervin's theme really kind of just sounds like a Kingdom Hearts theme. It sounds like something from Kingdom Hearts. It's part of the reason why I probably like it. You don't need lyrics to have a good song in this game. It was Alpha No Kaishir. I forgot to turn this off. Thank you. I'm going to ask you the same, Master Chai. We've been looking all over for you. Looking for me, whatever for. He's fine. Lady Chai has been nigh inconsolable in your absence. She claims you disappear without so much as a word and bade us return you to her side. What in blazes are you talking about? I left a letter for her in her chambers. I suppose she could have overlooked it. When she gets an idea in her head, I can only apologize. No harm done, but since you're here, might I ask what compelled you to come all this way? We're told you have been elected mayor, and from what we have gathered from nearby villages, you've been inquiring about the people's grievances. It's safe to assume you mean to take office. Now, let's not jump to conclusions. I did seek to learn about the problems faced by the people of Kalusia. That much is true, but I am by no means sure I am the man to solve them. Tackling our many challenges will require resources. Until I have secured them, it would not be right to assume the role of mayor. Yes, indeed, the people's grievances are many, but in the course of my inquiries, I've already met with several individuals willing to lend their aid in addressing them. However, there remains one individual crucial to my plans, a man whose counsel might yet make a mayor of me. With respect, such forethought is, in itself, proof of your suitability. To say he needs you, Master China, I am certain this man of whom you speak, whoever he may be, will reach the same conclusion. For a little it's worth, we will vouch for you should he require convincing. It doesn't really matter. You can count on us. He's gonna do the thumbs up? Nah, the chest bump. I don't know what to say. I don't need to say anything. You got your actions to speak for you. For as long as I can remember, all I wanted was to make it into Yulmore. That dream's gone now, bursts like a bubble, or a boil more like. Anyway, outside of repaying Master Alphino, I haven't had a clue to what to do myself. Spend most of my days in a daze. That's a tongue twister. But you've been running up and down trying to find a way to fix this mess for everyone. I reckon you can do it. You got this lot up Mount Gold, didn't you? How hard could mayoring be? You're going to steer Yulmore to a better future, I know it. And I want to help, properly help, do something that makes a difference. I don't know what it is yet, but I'll work it out on the way, if you let me come with you, that is. You give me entirely too much credit, the lot of you, but I can't deny it gives me heart. Come then, let's press on together. Thank you, Master Chai. Mustn't get ahead of ourselves. Yulmore needs more than a man with good intentions, which is why I am here, to find the one with the experience needed to see the city thrive. Who is this man exactly, and why are you certain he's here in Amity? Rendrin is his name, and yes, he is or was. I had scarcely begun to explain myself when he decided his time was better spent elsewhere. He served as chief advisor to Vothri's father when he was in office. If Ranjit was the mayor's right hand, one might say that Renjin was the left, and between them they kept Yulmore on the road to prosperity. Saley needs a lot more than a mere man of business, which is why I must find him. And if you do, what makes you think he will listen? Before giving chase, might it not be wise to speak with those who know him here? They may be able to shed some light on his reason for rejecting your overtures out of hand. I suppose that makes sense. We should start with Tristol. Okay. No, don't skip. We're done with the cutscene anyway. Was he in the cutscene where they showed Vothri's birth? I can't remember. I presume you're here to ask after Rendrin. I couldn't help overhearing your earlier exchange. Vothri gone Yulmore once for a leader. Should no one rise to the challenge, the city could very well collapse. I came here seeking Rendrin's counsel in the hope that we could build a better Yulmore together, and that is still my wish. Given how abominably you were mistreated there, I would quite understand if you chose not to help. I bear no grudge against you of the people of Yulmore. I will not see you suffer for Vothri's villainy. Rendrin can be rather uncompromising. He has his principles, you see, and little patience for anyone he deems less committed to their own. Your desire to right the wrongs of your past, of Yulmore's past, is quite admirable, but I fear the guilt you bear on the city's behalf works against you. You can see it in your, or I can see it in your eyes, in the way you carry yourself. It goes without saying that he sees it as well. You must let those feelings go, be more assertive, commit to this course, and prove to him Yulmore has the resolve to change. I believe he was heading towards Pit 8. If you plan to go and speak with him, I suggest you be firm and clear in your intentions. To Pit 8 we shall go, and I will not take no for an answer. Not even a maybe. I have no clue what Pit 8 is. Just follow the way marker. What is this? Oh, it's just random houses. What is this? Okay, I actually got to do something real quick.